Erudia, an ancient land where gods walk among men. A living, breathing high fantasy world that we want to put into your hands. But we cannot do this alone. In order to bring you back to what tabletop is all about, combat, exploration, adventure, we need your help to bring it to life. By supporting us on Patreon, you can support this project and the cast of Moonskull, with our promise that we will answer to the only people that matter. You. Legend Seeker. Your legend starts here. Forge your path. Shape your destiny.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna give this camera thing a shot. We'll see. I've got a very sleepy cat on my lap who's been here for way too long, and I gotta move him so I can get blood back into my legs. Buddy, I love you, but my goodness, my legs need blood flow. Yes, they do. He's just immediately like, this is a good spot. I'll stay here. This way. Get my legs stretched out. Oh, there we go. Ah, cracking. All right, buddy. Can I put you back down now? Can I put you back down now? You can't fall asleep here. This is not going to work. This is the opposite of working. You're just slowly going boneless. Come on. Come on, boneless one. Come on. Oh, he reluctantly went back into bone mode. Oh. Yep. And now he's going to What is that? This is not how you ever lay on my lap. I don't know what you're doing right now. Okay. He just loafed on my lap. Buddy. Oh, I think I just got a piece of hair in my eye, too. Thank you, Calvino, for that. Let's get that out of my eye. But hi, everybody. I'm Frost. Hi, Calvino. You're looking up at me with concern. Yeah, I got your hair in my eye. I'm Frost, and I'm here to do some lore writing for Legend Seeker. I'm working on the lore of the Godlands, one of the sections of the world of Erudia. It'll be the intro. Yeah, that's okay, buddy. It'll be the intro, I guess, introduction. It will be the base part of Erudia that you will have access to and can run around in an adventure when the game launches. We'll be adding more after that. But there's a lot in here. Okay, buddy, you gotta move your tail. And Calvino's in there somewhere, I'm sure, like 15 times. He is just so happy. Wolfie was sleeping on my lap earlier, and he passed out so hard that he was just laying on his side, and I'm like prodding him to get him up, and he just goes, eh. Every time I moved him, and I'm like, no, this isn't me just kind of playing. I need you to get up, buddy. I finally got him up, and he's just like, what? Because it was a little cold out this morning. It's one of the first cold days of this part of winter that we've had. So, and I say this part of winter because the year begins and ends in winter. So this is the end of year winter for 2025. It's the coldest day we've had in the end of year winter so far. Let's see. All right, so I'm rubbing his nose down here. I was like rubbing the top of his nose because he loves that. Rubbing from the nose up to between his eyes. And he just gets the and opens his little mouth up and shows his fangs off when I do it. Yes, I know you love that. And he purrs heavily and then he doesn't want me to stop. All right. So last time, oh, sorry, I have a migraine, so I'm going to be cracking my neck a lot. Last time we were finishing up some stuff in Kiru, and I basically got all that done except the Giger Fields, which is going to be here. We're going to go into some discussions about trolls. Think about trolls. And Wolf almost fall off the chair when he sleeps him up. Yeah, cats can get a little derpy when they go to sleep. They're just like, I trust you, catch me, without reminding you that, hey, I'm about to fall because you're not paying attention. Whatever. I have hot coffee. This is saving me from the migraine somewhat. All right, let's go find the Giger Fields. Villigotur. I put it in here. My phone is going to be going crazy because people are discussing things at work, and that's what they do. Let's see. These are going to be inhospitable, windswept. He's just so like, but the minute I start typing, his ears are up. What is that? What is that crazy noise? Let's see. Oops. Say two little else. Go. Oh, you did wake up this morning with him under the blanket with me. He wormed his way under the blanket, under my arms, just slept there for who knows how long. Oh, nice. At least he wasn't biting your feet. Did I gotta make sure I didn't misname something here. So, you know, I put Aoten. Oh, there they are. Boy, how do I want to say this? I'm saying inhospitable and windswept, Giger Fields are home to little else than the beings they are named after, a loathsome offshoot of trolls. But I mean, they're not, you can't say of regular trolls, you know, boring, regular old run-of-the-mill trolls. That doesn't make trolls sound very fun. No, now he's putting his paws on my face and ripping my cheek, or nipping your cheek. That's not fun. Not fun at all. That almost sounds like he got weaned a little too early. I mean, that's partly how they, you know, snuggle in too, but also, yeah. But all cats are different, and at the same time, all the same. Hill trolls. Trolls are fun. Trolls can be fun, feline, yes. But I want to make these like special trolls. They're slightly different. I was thinking last night that it would be really nice to have some monsters that have their own version. in the Godlands, if not some unique monsters that are like specific to this setting, because I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to have iconic monsters, even if they're not unique to the setting, they'd be unique to Legend Seeker. And we've got some goofy ones, but I want some serious ones too. You know, a couple. But it's possible that Erudia will want more of the goofy ones, less than serious ones. We'll see. You may have noticed he's got a goofy streak. And you will see me yawning over and over. When I have migraines, I just yawn like crazy. I slept 7 hours last night, which is almost twice as long as I normally sleep. I'm not tired, but when I get migraines, I just yawn like crazy. I don't know why. Let's go look at something quickly. Let's go see. That really doesn't help me. Internet trolls are definitely different. Yes, they are. I was talking with somebody. I'm not going to mention who this person was, but it hit the nail on the head talking about the troll's ability to count. Very interesting. Is there a difference in trolls, hill, mountain, valley? Yeah, usually there are. Hi, Calvino, what's up? Yeah, usually they have like slight differences. Sometimes it's like, you know, their height, their size, their, you know, how hardy they are and hit points, but most of them always have the same ability to regenerate. And I don't think in 5th edition, unless they've changed something, I don't think they have anything really outside of their ability to regenerate. Hi, buddy. I need to move you. You're sneaky. Oh my gosh, you're a sneaky cat. He's like, oh, just pet me. I'm so cute. Oh, I'll just lay my head against your arm here. This will be nice. Haha, I've trapped you. Dang it. No, don't do that little reaching out with your little soft paw like this, like you want attention and nuzzling my arm with your head. That doesn't work. Oh no, it worked. Damn it, now I'm stuck like this. Blarf. All right, let's do a couple things here. I think maybe we'll give them some minor magic. Maybe these trolls have a little bit of magic. I don't know what kind of magic they'd have. I'm not going to go into a lot of difficult or detail on them. We'll let Erudia come up with that stuff. But yeah, a terrifying streak, so they might come up with something. I don't know. Ratchet kick. Forgot he made trolls stupid in warm weather because they're made of rock and built for high altitude. They become geniuses when cold. Trap closed on me. Oh yeah, it did. It was a very soft, very slow trap. I just walked right into it. Yay! And then it was so soft and comfy. I didn't even realize the life was being just drained out of me. Rarf. Let's see. Wolf has not developed his cat meow yet. Not kitten squealing. Well, my cat Wolfie, I don't know if you guys have ever managed to hear him. Whereas this one will do the and he'll do all those rouse and rouse and stuff like that. Wolfie is the same size as him, fluffier even, and his meows are. He sounds like Frankenstein's monster from Young Dr. Frankenstein when he's putting on the Ritz. That's exactly what he sounds like. It's adorable, but also easy to miss his meows. Because he doesn't do a whole lot of like calling attention, and he will just come up and stand next to me. He's tall enough that he'll stand up, put his paws on my armrest of my chair, which is right here, and they just sit here and go. I'm like, is that? Oh, hey, buddy. Unlike Calvino's mom, Boston Blackie, the little detective of the house, when she wants attention, I walk by and she's just like, "Hey, you, come here." She will hit me with her claw. And I'm like, "Ow!" And she just looked at me like, "Hey, at me?" Like, I don't know if I want to after that. Yeah, Wolfie also has the fangs just like Calvino does. So he just look up at me and he'll have this little gray and white face with these big fangs and this tiny little squeaky mouth. Okay, buddy. All right, Giga share the regenerated privilege of the Trojans. They also have exceptional. Have an exceptional sense of smell through the large noses. Oops. I just came up with a really terrifying way to use these guys. It's going to be kind of fun. So the rumor has it. So basically, they have the sense of smell, and they have the ability to cast. I'll say use. Utilize. Use. Say utilize blood magic. Rumor has it that they learned this from Grix long ago. The gift has stayed with them to this day. Whether or not that's true, the Giger hunters have found more than one hideous bone shrine to the fallen god in their lairs. Now, if you think about it, blood magic is bad because, you know, you have to hurt yourself, you have to use blood, you have to do all this stuff. But these guys regenerate. So, yeah. I'm free gone. Ugh. I don't think Calvino's helping, even though I'm not tired. He's just like looks so comfortable on my lap that I'm just sitting here going, oh. Hey, let's see. I just realized, did we hear anything from that Kyle fellow over in the chat? Oops. Oops, there we go. Oh my gosh, I spelled that word with 2 G's. There are no G's in that word. I hit all the good keys. All right. I was going to ask something to chat. Oh, I was going to ask Gino. I forgot to ask this. So, do you just have to re-enroll in your insurance? Do you have to do something else? You said certify. I'm not sure what that means. Exactly. He is so close to rolling off my lap here, but he has one paw up on the desk, and I have this big, like, mouse pad thing that's the size of, bigger than my keyboard. It holds my keyboard, my mouse, and everything. It's really big. He's got his claw hooked into it just so it's anchoring him, so he's like falling backwards slowly. Oh, he fell backwards far enough that he had to catch himself, and he woke up. All right, Fang Master. There you go, buddy. Snuggle in. All right, let's see. Orf? Yes, so many good words. Oh, interesting. I'm reading about the etymology of the word troll. In Old Norse, it meant fiend, demon, could mean werewolf, even Jotun. Middle High German meant fiend. It's likely borrowed from Old Norse. Makes sense. It could be from a noun in Proto-Germanic meaning trulen, meaning to step on. But it could also be an Old Norse word to enchant or to turn into a troll. Huh. What are you doing, buddy? That really hurts. Yeah, you got your claws in my leg. Okay, we're going to move you because you're way too happy sitting there smushing me with your claws. Here, there, lay that way once. There we go. Ah. Okay, Charles Chloe. Blah, 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 blah. I wonder what that means. An interesting story. I'm getting myself a whole bunch of folklore stories off on the side here. I wonder what that is. And well, it's one of these things that says they're mythical magicians. No, it says they're hostile monsters. Interesting. Okay. All-purpose otherworldly beings equivalent to fairies. Okay. Okay. Wait, why did that? It didn't take me to the where they said it went to. Went to just a random etymological page that has nothing to do with. I don't think their link worked. I think the link failed, people. Really, guys? Cats. Troublemakers galore. All right, so if I have them. they're gaunt, they're gray, they have the regenerative abilities of other trollkin. They also have an exceptional sense of smell. All right, so oops. So it heals. So let's see, making travel treacherous and aware Giger love nothing more than to stalk their prey for as long as they can, extending the anticipation of the kill to the utmost. Let me look at a picture. Let's see. And how you doing out there, VJJ? What have you been up to lately? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, crack. Come on. Muscle, loosen up at the base of my skull. Loosen up. I gotta pick him up while he's purring like this and just wrap him around my neck and get his purrs right on my neck. That'd be great. But he would lay there for about half a second and then he would use his claws to hop off and go lay somewhere else. Working while plagued. Oh, you're still plagued. I thought you were. Wait, wasn't that a few days ago when you were plagued? I thought you were plagued in Thanksgiving. You still plagued? You got the plague still? Hi. What? Yes, I said plague many times. Are you concerned, sir? Okay. I booped him on the nose and he's like, how dare you, sir? Those boops. Yes, Mr. Mustachio. When he was a kitten, or I decided what his name was, he was Mr. Mustachio. Weren't you? And occasionally you were Monsieur Mustachio. What? You tell me if you can tell why he was called Mr. Mustachio. Why were you called Mr. Mustachio? Ralph, you are so happy right now. Even though I'm doing this, you're like, leave me alone. You are in such a good mood today. My goodness. There's just nothing can upset you today. All right. Working while plague, that is it. Yep. Ugh. Well, I'm glad you're able to work through the plague. Work through the plague. Hi. What would you like, sir? You need more nose boops? Okay, here's more nose boops. You're being so nice. He's French? No, he's Italian. He's Calvino, the Italian. But we called him Mr. Mustachio. We called him, we did that when he hated it. When I would call him Monsieur Mustachio, he would just look at me and go, like, okay, fine. X was a passing woof. He's gotten it down to pressing caps lock and one letter instead of nonsensical stream. Hey, look at that. Hi, buddy. What? What do you need? Yes, I gave you all kinds of smooshes, and yes, you need more. I know. I see. Yes, okay. Purr. Turn on the purrs. Yep. Yep. You get to rub against my nose. There you go. All right, there you go. You got what you wanted. You cannot bite my thumb. No. All right, I'm looking at windswept hill images and stuff. I'm finding, some cool things in New Zealand. I'm finding some really cool rocks and stuff in these other areas, like in I don't know where that is. I think that one is in Alaska, where these rocks are just on really cool hills and stuff. Really cool places for these trolls to hide in. I think it'd be great. You'd imagine going across to a stream somewhere. I can actually build this really quick. I don't know if I can. Oh, window capture. We'll do this. What am I going to grab here? Very specific window. Is this the picture? 1966. Where is this picture at? Yeah, that's the one. There we go. I'm looking at this picture specifically. Like if you were treading across the stream one way or another, and there were these trolls hiding behind these rocks and stuff that blend in because their skin is very gray and rock-like. That would be fun. Be like, oh, hello, trolls. Ta-da! Trolls. All right, so now there's probably got to be some reason that somebody would want to go in these hills, right? What would be something out there? What would be something good that people would want to harvest from these hills or go into the hills for? Is it just a challenge? Do they have to go in there for certain resources? Do they find something cool in there? I mentioned that they're eager hunters because, well, they're probably hunters for everything. What are you looking at, Kelvino? Oh, he's looking at me over on the screen. I'm doing this. He's sitting on my lap, looking at the computer, looking at me in OBS doing this. Nice. All right, buddy. I'm not going to entertain you that way. No. Those sure are rocks. Is that land called Brut? That is the city, the town of Brut. Brut was once the northernmost settlement of Kiro along the high cliffs of the western coast, a river port that traded in fish, hides, and stone to the rest of Kiro into the Azure Kingdom to the far north. Once gold was found in the northern reaches, up in Kish. Near the Giant's Pass, the city of Kish was founded further north by an enterprising Boar clan leader. Brut is still a major trade stoppage as the only easy passage over the Gultur River for miles. Yeah, though a few ferry owners do make good profit funneling goods across the river away from the watchful eyes of the tax collectors in the city. The trail to the shrine and hunting grounds of Villigotur is Brut's other claim to fame, as the maze of splintered rock leading to the place is a nightmare to navigate through unless you follow the river. So the only real easy way there is along this winding path through the cliffs. So it's basically a small town that does a lot of trading and fishing and makes money for people passing through and having to pay tariffs, which is how they got rid of their income tax. I'm kidding. We don't have income tax. Mimic trolls, no. And that's how the trolls under the bridge stories came to Erudia. Speaking of mimics, do we get mega mimics? Like a mimic pretending to be a wizard's tower, expecting some looters to enter as it just claws them up or chews them up? Let's see. What was the other thing I had to do here for this rock here? There was something I was going to look for. What? What do you want? You were pawing at me. What do you need, buddy? See. Speaking of Americans, can you name a town or location? Zemia. Zemia. See. Mia is snake. Zemia. Is that the word for place? Like a location, literally? Oh, earth in Polish. I was kind of close. Dirt. So it's dirt. You respell brut to brood. Well, interesting. I kind of like that. And then I'm going to read what Fantastic asked. Interesting. More dirt? And I don't know if you noticed, Chrysanth, when I was playing that game that just would not work right for me, the Brew Barons. I did name the tavern the Dirt Room. More brute. All right. What percentage would you say that your work on this material for Legend Seeker is completed? For this book, I'm probably about 60, 75% of the way complete, I would say. I technically was a little farther along, but I started adding sections. I've created more work for myself. So, I mean, I was probably around 70, I'd probably say around 80 something percent before. But then I started adding some more sections like the factions. And this, like literally this area, I added all this stuff through this whole area because I only had a couple of towns. I had Onsen and I had Kish. I added Gigerfields, Brut, Vilgoter, Lake Golter, the Nocklund, High, the Eotenfields, or Eotenfeld, and Dow, and tied them all into the lore of everything around here. So I keep plugging little holes and filling little gaps and adding little things. So I keep writing pages upon pages of stuff. So yeah. And then after I'm done with that, there are some other things that I want to do because while the stuff is written, it's complete. There are some things I want to do in terms of like when you do a world Bible and things like that, where you really want to solidify the way you're writing things and using similar language if you can, and making sure you're not using terms like in more than one way. What was that? Are you okay? It's like you got a hiccup. He hiccuped in the middle of a meow. He's like, like I don't know what that was. That was a unique one. Okay. Buddy. Yeah, if only the game hadn't been so hard to fly in, it would have been better off. But we'll see. Maybe they'll work on it as they go because they're listening to people, it sounds like. Maybe they'll make some changes even though the game is technically released. There was something else I was going to tell Tomix here. Oh, while I couldn't sleep in the middle of the night, I downloaded and installed Space Engineers 2. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. Boy, did I pick a horrible time to download and install Space Engineers 2. Because evidently on the 3rd, they had a hotfix to fix some stuff. Since that hotfix came out, the game just freezes randomly all the time. And I couldn't get anywhere. I did some stuff for about 25 minutes, and then it just kept freezing every time I tried to fly anywhere. It was great. Yeah, I did not like their control choices. I don't know what kind of games people were playing when they came up with that control scheme, but I was like, woof. It just felt so alien and just not the way I would ever have controlled the flying thing, because I played a lot of flying games where you have moving forward, you have rudder controls that let you bank, that will also let you slide. You take the plane and you'll slide and use the ailerons and things to slide. And you go up and down. And normally you're going up and down and left and right with a stick, and another stick you can look around or something like that. And then you've got triggers for making your stuff go up and down. But they have one for turning on the engine. I guess, sure, cool. They've got, I put it on the bumpers for the other things. I put the throttles here. The one stick goes back and forth. The other one goes up and down because I couldn't get them all together. And then it also just feels really weird. I don't know. But anyway, beside that, lower. Company itself was one I did not really want to support due to how they handled medieval engineers. Oh, I don't know about medieval engineers. Well, and their voice acting and the acting in this Space Engineers 2 that they're working on is horrible. And it really bothered me. It was as bad as the stuff in the Brew Barons. Woohoo! Let's just say I was not impressed. All I wanted to do was stuff. And then I started digging a hole down, and I went down on the ground. I'm like, yes. You know how in Stationeers, you dig a hole in the ground, you go get some stuff, and you go back out? In this, when you dig a hole, it makes it wide enough in the voxels for you to kind of fit down through it, but not easily when you're going back up. And when you turn on your jetpack in this game, it doesn't automatically just say, well, that's up. It says, what surface was you standing on? Okay, here you are, you're jetpacking. And you could be jetpacking this way where the hole up is there because you were standing on a piece of dirt that had a little cant to it. So then you have to reorient yourself, but you can't look up, because if you look up, then you're going to jetpack backwards. So where you're looking, it's just their jetpack mechanic is just asinine. So I'm trying to float out of a hole that's only this wide that I dug 25 meters into the ground to get iron, because I didn't want to sit there for 16 years making the hole wider because it takes forever to dig. And finally got myself out of some of these holes. I'm like, oh, they got to work on that. Anyway, eager. So we've got these gray gaunt trolls. They know how to use blood magic. They can hide in the rocks and valleys everywhere around here because, like New Zealand and British Columbia and Alaska and stuff, there's a lot of bare rock and windswept hills here. And they'll ambush and they'll kill and they'll eat. I don't have to give them anything for somebody to go after unless there are like old hidden treasures out there. There could be like rumors of an old place where Grix hid some stuff. There could be, maybe that would work. Maybe that would work. Oops. Okay. Okay, well, whatever, we'll do this. The editor just decided to not let me go to the next line. There we go. And it tried to put that entire sentence I just typed in the middle of a different word. Yeah. Stories of hidden reference. Wow, buddy, that's quite a stretch. Holy cow, that is quite a stretch. You all right there? What are we doing? What are we doing, buddy? Hi. Yes, you have a very pronounced backbone. Good job. You getting down? Okay, bye. I guess he had enough lap. He's like, yep, lap. Let's see. How's it going, folks? Hello, Jensen. It's going well. Hello, Cajun Corey. Look at another 2.5 years for all cost much subscription. I have to buy them. Wait, fantastic. Are you being sarcastic? I'm assuming you're being sarcastic because 2 to 2.5 years for all 3 books. I doubt it. Because of the 70-80% that I've done, the part that is considered done now, it went from when I added this stuff to being about 35% done to about 80% done in the last 2 months. So I've rewritten almost 100 pages of this in a little over, about 90 to 100 pages in the last 2 months, because I don't do it all on screen or on here. Search for the god killer weapon existing somewhere in the Geeker Fields and his faithful minions. With safeguarding. Yeah, and this book is a little smaller than the ones oh, there we go. The ones that Erudia has going, because one of his books is already like, I would say probably about, at last time I looked at the page count, it was 1.5 times larger than this book already. And that's just one of the ones, one of the 2 that he is working on, plus some of a few other things that I'm writing some other things on the side too, just as notes for myself. So, I mean, technically with all the documents I have and all the supporting stuff, I probably have almost 500 pages of stuff, but it's not all going in this book. And a lot of it is just notes, because I have a folder that has, I looked at it yesterday because I'm like, where did I put that? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 33 documents related to this document alone in this folder. And one of those documents is almost as large as this book. There's a lot of stuff that I'm writing that is not necessarily going to be in here. Or I'll take it out here and be like, ooh, this will work totally better over here. It'll be good. Got distressed for a second by the second channel. Distressed by this. Yeah, the bestiary has got a lot of crap in it. Yeah, it's I think he's gonna have to, because I mean, it's a lot of info, but I think he's gonna have to make some room for some art. Otherwise, he's gonna have a super long book. Because the other thing that I'm knowing is going to be happening in here is we're going to have the maps. We'll have the maps of the different locations and stuff in here. And there will be specific pieces of art that I'm hoping we'll get. But, you know, not all of it's critical to the storytelling. But it's really nice to have some art in the books. I like it. Yeah, he's definitely he's got some things he'll have to probably decide whether or not he wants to move them, hold them off, or make some of the entries a little more succinct and then put out like extra bits of info. But it's possible that, you know, it'll just be a really large book. That's my guess. I mean, in a raw sense right now, this book right now is as long as the novel I wrote. And I'm still working on some of these entries. Boop, 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 boop. What? There. Oh, okay, there we go. That's got it. Moving this around. Huh? Sorry, I just got a message from a friend of mine who's just like, asked me the dumbest question ever, but I like it. The question was, what do you tell people in your family who ask you every single year what you want for Christmas and then ignore what you tell them and buy whatever the hell they want anyway? He's like, I think I'm at the point where I'm not going to tell them the real thing. I'm going to tell them something weird just because it's fun. And I was like, why are you asking me? He's like, I know it's a dumb question because I'm going to do whatever I want, but I thought you'd be amused by it. I'm like, yeah, I am. Because one year, my mom got me a pewter statue of a little wizard with a crystal in it, which in a way is like, wow, that's totally spot on. But at that point, I was like 25. I didn't quite have gray hair yet. But she knew I liked wizardy type stuff. And I was like, oh, this is one of the most on brand sort of gifts I've ever gotten. But what the hell am I going to do with the tiny little pewter wizard with a little crystal? So like, oh, that's really nice. She actually thought about something I liked. But yeah. And then I've been described by most of the people in my family as impossible to shop for. Not really. Hello, Paul. Oh, I just realized I also have four other folders full of stuff too. And I was like, oh yeah, wait a second. I have the short story. Hi, Calvino. Hello, welcome to the desktop. Welcome to Calvino's Cat Talk. Hi, are you going to try and lay there? Is that where you're going to lay now? Wow, that's a bold choice. I'm sitting close to my desk and I don't have my legs crossed and he's laying on my lap using the desk as a backrest. This is going to end badly. You're going to slide down and gravity is going to take you down to the floor and I'm going to end up with scratches. Yay! Nice hot sauce or a nice whiskey for the wizard. Woo! I like it. I could put some more hot sauce in my coffee. Well, I probably shouldn't put more. I probably shouldn't. I will. Put a little more in. Hey, bud. All right, I got to move you, buddy, because you're going to get stuck. Oh, a nice hot sauce would be nice. Now, my family doesn't really buy gifts anymore, so I give myself a gift because for a while there, a couple of my brothers did not really have any money for anything. There we go. There's my gift to myself. Didn't have any money for a few years, so we kind of stopped giving gifts. And we were like, no, we're not going to do it anymore. And I tried to convince them that we could start doing it again. And then, of course, those brothers were also to the point where they were also not. They were doing well, then they weren't again. I'm like, damn it. Okay. So we don't really give gifts. So it's not a thing we do. And they don't like it when I give them gifts because then they feel guilty. You're not impossible. I wouldn't say I'm impossible to buy for. I would say, us, I'm good. Why are you hiccuping so much, dude? What did you eat? You ate the same dry food you normally have and the same wet food. The only thing you had today that was different was a thumbnail-sized bite of one of my croissants. That's literally all you had that was different. Is that making you hiccup? Like 6, 7 hours later? Come on. Weirdo. We play the white elephant game. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm going to read all these. I just never want anything that I come from a family of people who never want anything. Feel a wolf next to my feet or the blankets or the couch. I'm trying not to move them. Yeah, don't move them. You'll be attacked. My mom asked me what my sister wants and my sister what I want, so we just coordinate. Oh, there you go. And you play the white elephant game. Nice. Well, I was being nice to my brother who's, you know, he was struggling a little bit recently and he was having some health issues. So he and his boys, I sent them a whole bunch of just stuff like food and things from Amazon and other places and stuff, you know, just essential things, just nice. And I'm like, oh, here you go. Here's some stuff. And I like doing that stuff. And I'm like, you're welcome. There you go. We're done. They got into the group chat with family and said, hey, we wanted to thank him for sending this stuff to us. I'm like, why did you tell everybody that? Don't do that. I don't need anybody to know that. I don't want anybody to know it. So I was kind of annoyed by that. So now I'm like, since it's already out there in the internet ethos or something, or the aether, I figured, what the heck? I'd tell you guys how annoyed I am that somebody told somebody that I did something. I have a very difficult time accepting gifts unless my gift ideas are ridiculous, like a T-80 tank. Ooh. Okay, I misread these two. I thought Paul's message was another message from Feline. I thought it said, I have a very difficult time accepting gifts, and thus my gift ideas are ridiculous, like a T-80 tank, with a $20 to $25 limit. I was like, wow, that is really difficult. Impossible gift, impossible price range. But it was different. My ridiculous ideas dissuade people from buying meaningful gifts. I don't mind if somebody gets me a gift, but nobody does. So I don't have to worry about it. And the few times that people actually do give me a gift, I don't know what the hell to do. I am so confused by it. I'm very like, what do I do now? I wonder if I could fit that into one of these groups in here. I wonder if I could. I don't know. I'm going to put that down as a note here in one of my many folders of notes. Oh, let's see. We'll go into here. Might be better for a specific NPC. All right, there we go. All right, so we've got the Giger Fields. We've got the hidden place. It might be out there, might not be. The Giger doing their thing. I think we're good with all these entries that I added last week. So we've now written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And technically with some of the stuff around the roads in here, 9 entries for new stuff, which is cool. I think height is going to be kind of fun with the tea houses and everything. I think that could be an entertaining place. I think it could be fun for people. Get the wizard a nice rye whiskey. The last whiskey that I had before I had this this honey whiskey was Bullet Rye. What? Yes, that was me moving a bottle. Thank you for being so observant and knowing that that bottle moved to try and save me from it. He's literally just looks at me with a derpy look like, huh? What happened? He's totally ready to fight for me. Sister vents to me often, so whenever she complains about something I can solve with a physical item, that's a gift. Hey, there you go. Price limit is an acceptable amount to pay for a T-80 tank. There you go. Yeah. $20 for a tank. Hey, if you can find one for $20, give me one too. All right, let's move that off to the side. So now we've gotten all this done. Oh, crack. That really hurt, but it felt kind of good. Hopefully I didn't just paralyze myself, but my neck cracked nicely. I'm still moving, as far as I can tell. Now, I've never done anything with these little islands out here, so I'm probably going to do something between Ukelos and Kish that will be out here on these islands, and I would name this little bay because it's ripe for something to be out there. It's got to be something cool there. Now, the Godland Strait is the area that's right between here, and technically the Umbral Sea's out here, But the Umbral Sea is this whole area here. It's the Thalassian Ocean is out there. Now, we need or want to add more stuff along in here. Hoffenwald and Hindelwald. Because there are a few entries in these places where I've looked at them. I said, it's good. It's got a lot of information for D&D, like type players, role-playing games and stuff. But it would be nice to have a little more of like a little kick or a hook to it. And I've started going through a few of them here and there and pointing out little idiosyncrasies about the people or the places and stuff. But I'm still kind of trying to think through those. So if you guys have anything in the comments after this show today, let me know if there's like something you think that would make a place like stand out. Like, why do you remember a certain city from like Forgotten Realms or from another world that you've played in? If it's something in the Pathfinder world or something, what makes you think about it? It's like, oh, it's these guys have these amazing sword lords or something, and they're known the world over. Or if there's like a specific place, it's like imposing and everybody wants to go see because it's disturbing. Yeah, just mention those ones. Let me know what they are, because that's kind of the next phase after all of this, is getting bits of those world lore that are bordering on the epic, maybe things left over from the past ages, possibly before the God Killer War, during the God Killer War, because that's all a bit past now. It's 1,000 years ago. A lot of the people have kind of moved on. The humans don't remember it all that well. The elves and the dwarves don't want to remember it very well. And any of the other little races are just like, they didn't really have that much of an impact, so they didn't create any of these things. But if you come across something like that, like, oh, hey, we found notes about something in Kadesh that we were going to go to, or we found something about, you know, the swords masters down here in Karth Urum or Rito. Like, oh my gosh, you have a sword made by the blade masters in Rito? How did you get that? They don't let those out of the country unless you're like stole it or killed someone or paid a hell of a lot of money for it. So yeah. The bottle is pretty empty. It's getting there. It's getting there. This was the first year in a decade I've given appropriate gift ideas like a shop vac and tool batteries. Hey, look at you. Real gift ideas. By Feline. By Feline. Right. Let's see. This is where the giants are. You know, I've never really went into this area of giants in the rain wall. I'm gonna do something here in Kiru. Where would I put it here? Zanatha. We'll put it. I don't want to put it at the very end because that's going to be talking about the religion. Yeah, okay, here we go. We're going to put an entry in here about the Rainwall Giants. Hi. I call those. Oops, I don't want to capitalize north. Don't capitalize north. Don't do it. I was going to mention to anybody who likes reading and writing, while I think her estimations of some stuff is really spot on. It was a little bit voluminous and a little bit wordy for me. Jessica Lindstrom, I think it was, posted something for a lady who was talking about why fan fiction has destroyed everything, or has destroyed writing and everything else. And it was a very good, like I can't say discussion because there was no discussion. It was a very good expose. It had some interesting points. And it was right on the money in many, many spots. There's some things I just don't know enough about, and some terminology that I was scared. I'm glad that she looked it up, because when I read it, I'm like, I don't want to look that up. And then she went on to describe it. I'm like, okay, good. Because the video's over an hour long. If you're interested, you should go find that and watch it. I can taste my medicated eye drops. Oh, yes, Paul. Those things suck. Go right down through your sinuses and you taste them. They're gross. Oops. Fortresses. That's how I spell it. All right, two major fortresses, one in the north one in the north, the other in the south. Massive edifices pulled from the earth by magic. And the God Killer War. Let's see, pulled from the earth, pulled from the earth. I'm gonna highlight this so I can kid it later, because what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I will come back to that. I don't want to get stuck on it. Ah, I found it. There you go. Bam. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I've read it or watched any of the rest of her stuff, but she's got some very good points. There's some things she said that I was like, really? Is that where that came from? And other people were like, oh, could you point to the article you cited this from? I can't find it. And she pointed in her notes. She's like, I cannot find the paper I read or the thing I read that pointed me to that, but this is where I got it from. I'm like, eh. But it's a pretty good breakdown of stuff.
Hi.
And I have her webpage bookmarked too, because she's written a serialized novel. I'm like, oh, I should probably go try it out, see what it's like. It might be good, but yeah, even some of the people who write or have written fan fiction in the past are like, they're like, fan fiction writer here, you are right on the money. Or former fan fiction writer here, yeah, this is disturbingly accurate. Like, ooh, it's pretty good watch. I think I listened to it while I was doing work. All right, one of the north and the other south. Mass. We'll do this. Massive edifices. Don't care. You don't care about fan fiction. Don't care about writing. You don't care. You just don't care, Paul. Oh. You could be like, well, I can't think of his name suddenly. Luke Skywalker. I care. Yeah, the only problem with fan fiction right now is because those people are so what's the word? Almost like a cult. They have started to transform what gets into publishing and what gets into people's eyes, and they're shaping what people want to read because they don't know any better. Oh, excuse me. Calvino, I think you just got fur in my mouth. Because there's some stuff on there that's like disturbing stuff, evidently. Disturbing stories that have 18 million views in some of those sites. And I would never read it. But that definitely would, if I got 18 million views on something that I wrote, it would definitely embolden me to do more. You did buy a welder on Black Friday, so I can finally build those lockable cages Erudia I was asking about. Oh, no, not Bear Billionaire. Well, she does address Morning Glory Milking Farm and some of this other stuff very directly. Blah. Blah. Yeah, and I know one person who has written something recently and shared a little bit of it with me. I was like, oh, hey, some of this is really good. They're like, what do you mean some of it? And I'm like, well, this part is cool. This part's cool. They're like, okay. They're like, I thought that was the weakest part. And I said, really? What do you mean? It's like, yeah, it wasn't, it was basically, that was where the person was being kind of like, I don't know, kind of like being a jerk. And I was in a bad mood when I wrote some of that stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's why the character mattered. The rest of this just seems like they're just saying stuff to prove a point or something. And then they're like, oh, that's what all the people really liked about it. And I said, what people? And yeah, they were on certain sites where people put these things and the people were really responding well to certain parts of it. And I'm like, oh, now I know why. So yeah, it's very interesting. Interesting. Hi, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, pal? Okay, yeah, just he's getting feisty and sleepy at the same time. I don't understand what to do. I don't know what to do. Lots of odd folks out there. Yeah, just look at women's romance stories for the past 40 years. Oh boy, they have just gotten crazier. And like I told Crescent and Erudia and a couple other people, the term that I saw on the internet or on X for it was spot on, we'll just say. And that's the like the Morning Glory Milking Farm is one of those, yeah. It's literally just monster sex. Whatevers. Meanwhile, guys are like, can I have a cowboy story? Yep, here you go. Gay cowboys. No. I just want cowboys. They're shooting each other. But why? And they're saying mean things to each other. But why? Speaking of that, I want these giants to be mean. So these giants control all this land between the Rainwall Mountains and the Starfall Mountains up here. And they raid on into this part of Kiru. They raid down in here into Kiru. They raid up into the Zentura Vale. They don't go a whole lot farther. But they have a fortress here and a fortress here that were basically built and ripped out of the bones of the past by magic in the God Killer War, where they have the majority of their peoples. And I kind of would like to trying to think if I could find a way to work their story into. It's too far away to do anything with the soul spires and things. Hmm. Hmm. They were never sane to begin with. Appliances are alive. Guess that makes others work for them. Evil. That they make bread from bones. Mix of both. So, yeah. So I'm trying to decide if I could work in one of these other things, because these could be. I don't know if I could do that though. I'm trying to think of the stuff with the gods, because what I was gonna do here is say that one of the giants here is descended from a scion. Basically, he's from Zirath's line. He has some of the blood of the god Zirath in him. So he is sort of a demigod. And Zirath is, god of war and fire and all this. So he's going to be this big fire giant guy. What? Yeah, you're the one who made me snoofle and sneeze by getting your fur in my face. My own fault for sticking my face in your fur, I know. But still, whatever. Is one giant named Borscht? He just is a beef farmer. What do you want from him? I had more borscht today. It was good. What? What do you need, buddy? Oh, okay. Hi. Hello. Gonna lay your head on my keyboard rest? Okay. Thanks. I don't need that for my wrists. You can have it. I'll just work around you, I guess. Oh, I don't need to capitalize that. What am I doing? Oop. Wow, my stomach just growled. Hungry. It'll be determined by what type of giants there are. If there are different types of giants. There are different types of giants. And in here, I think this is going to be fire giants. Wandering in and out of these mountains here. Well, at least this one's a fire giant, and there are other hill and stone giants, but I think he's going to be here because, he doesn't have to live in a pit of fire or whatever. He can live inside a mountain or wherever he wants. And, yeah. You are totally in my way, buddy. All right, so I could save that then. I've added 3 more pages to this already just from everything I've written. Okay. Forced labor making giants. They're gonna talk you all into making stuff. It's a pyramid scheme. They sign you up for coming on in their vacation to buy a condo, and once you get there, they enslave you. That would be so mean. We're going down to Boca Raton to look at condos. Oh my God, we're slaves. We're just gonna make wallets for the rest of our lives, which will be about a year. Who has texted me? What are you texting me? Oh, it's not texting. That's me forgetting to plug my phone in and my phone yelling at me and saying, hey, dummy, plug in your phone. All right. Oh, can I get past Kelvino to get to it? Luckily, I have very long arms. I can reach to the floor without bending completely in half and crushing him, crushing his little cat body. They have these awesome timeshares. Exactly. The brochure is amazing. And then you get there and you're looking at the brochure, you're looking at the land, looking at the brochure. This doesn't seem right. Punk right in the head. You're in a wallet making factory. You're making knockoff Wushian leather goods. You say they're made with the gub hides from the Boar clan, but I don't know. This seems like, I don't know. What is this, kobold? You're making these out of kobolds? A counterfeit ring, making cheap stuff out of kobold skin. Ah, what a horrible idea. This could be amazing. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I think, for this next bit is I've got all those covered, and I had a place up here that I removed because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it. I'm going to, at some point, I'll go through and fix the color of all these. I'm kind of getting sold on the colorful things here. I don't like this though. This little castle icon thing is kind of bugging me, honestly. So I think I'm going to remove it. I'm just going to go back to this thing. And, oh, I can't just copy. I forgot. It doesn't let me do that. I have to, there is a way. I'll just go back in here. We'll just do this. Why is it not letting me? Oh, wow. Being really slow. Okay, it just, program is just not responding very well right now. That's weird. All right, let's make this larger. Let's see, is that about the same size? Yep. Bam. Now we'll pull that up to a higher spot where it'll be over the top of stuff. We'll move it over slightly. And then it'll be floating over everything. We can also move the little hill if I need to. Out of the way a little bit. Move this down a little bit. Not 100% accurate of where it is. It's close enough. Close enough. Yeah, I think I'll go with just the symbols for now because the little fortresses are cool, but I don't like the image. All right, so this one is gonna be probably make this a little smaller. Boom, there's gonna be one there. The other one is up here. Oh, look at that, it's hidden behind a mountain. We'll pull that up to the top. There we go. Because the giants have their two fortresses in here. Yeah. Now, I had something in, oh, let me see. Can I be, what do I call that? You guys have never used the program called Everything? I love it. It creates a little search index for your hard drive so you can find things really quickly, and you can search for like files, folders, pictures, videos, strings, all kinds of stuff. All right, where is it? Well, that's not helpful. All right, let's come up with some names here. We will change this font. We will make sure bold label a little bit let's see, what would be a good I'm trying to find a good, let's see, what is, trying to find the cardinal directions in a few different language and what the words, that's pretty easy. I can't really put a name on there. I hate it when it does this. It gets rid of the, I'm just gonna delete it. It loses it loses the whole control thing. That's a bug in their program. Menord? Namorgnander? So the North Guard, basically, we're gonna do South Guard. But I think God, so the North Guard and the South Guard, which is not as north and south as you think, unless you, well, I'll put it down there. It'll feel more south. As well, they guarded the north and south parts of this pass. And everybody that goes there is old retirees from all over the Godlands. And if they escape, they say they hated it, but of course, they also loved it because boy, did they lose weight. I wonder if I could move this up without it looking too weird. Yeah, we can do that. And then if I can move this one over, maybe. Yeah, because I can float over the mountains. It'll be fine. Sudgadr and Nordgadr, which means now I get to make entries for these. Oh my. Unlike the guy who's doing Conjunction Junction. Now I have that song in my head. I hope you all do too. Enjoy. This is my gift to you. Conjunction Junction. Almost as good as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you have some funky music going in your head because of that, haha! I gotta tell you, getting captured by those giants was the worst and best thing that ever happened to me. Worked my fingers to the bone. Well, look at me. Little halflings. Yep, stuck my head. Yep, Conjunction Junction guys. Very catchy. Oh, yeah. And quite honestly, from when I was a kid, hearing that stuff, it was so cool because it was a catchy way to learn stuff. I did hear, though, and I don't know how many places still do this, that they changed the ABC song cadence to make it easier for people to remember it, because the long, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. When people got to elemental P, people were like, the what now? The elemental P? And they were getting confused. So now they broke it up in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And it was like, well, you ruined the whole song. Good job. If you don't know what elemental P means, you got problems. ABC, always be Crescent. You hate me? Yay! Ladybugs at the Ladybug Picnic. Yeehaw! You know, there's another really good one. If you wanted yet another thing stuck in your head, as you know you do, which is Mr. Morton. Mr. Morton. Or Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla with pronoun. Which is also topical. Mr. Morton is who? He's the subject of our tale. The predicate tells what Mr. Morton must do. Oh man, I'm having fun. I just made this guy, Brock, the fire giant, the scion of the god Zirath. Probably going to be one of the most hated by anyone who's like woke ever. He's this fire giant named Brock. He's the heir to the power of Zirath, fire and everything. The Nordgadr, the great basalt fortress of Nordgadr, is the seat of power of the fire giant chieftain Brock and his 7 war wives, the leader of his legions. and his concubines. So he has 7 fire giant mistresses who are basically in charge of his 7 legions. Yeah, this is going to make people mad. Mm. So the depths of spelled wrong. Nordgod are home to more than one rift, leading to the realm of the undergods. This is the real reason that Brock has reclaimed the fortress. He's been charged by his god Zirath to hold the minions of the undergods at bay, and has thrown his whole being at the task. So he's a fire giant. He's the heir to the power of Zirath. He's this big, menacing guy with his war wives and concubines. But technically, he's here trying to stem the undergods from gaining a foothold in the world through the mountain passes here. So you might not like Brock when you look at it at first. You're like, oh, this guy's horrible. And you're like, well, wait a second. Wait a minute. Let's see. Elemental P, I'm walking on sunshine. Wow. That storm wasn't late. It just made a dramatic in precipitation. Wow. I'm saying we could be, not we are. Wow. Concubine generals. Yep. Fire Giant didn't fail the stealth check. He just made a huge embarrassment. Oh, no, Shadow Warden. That's horrible. Fire Giants never get along with wizards. There's too much arcane antagonism. Oh, not a stumble. It's a tectonic misstep. Okay, he's on fire, folks. He's a Fire Giant himself. He's a Lord of Puns. Wow. I sentence you to go listen to Mr. Morton. Temper his temper. I'm letting his pride get in the way too, because Syrians and the dwarves don't know of his real charge or his real duty. They believe he's massing an army for invasion of one or both their lands, but in truth, he's attempting to temper his temper, find a way to enlist their aid in his crusade, but his pride has stopped him from making any headway in this matter, because he's like, no, we're going to do this ourselves. The undergods are very powerful. We might need these guys to help, but I'm not going to ask them to help because they suck. Well, maybe we'll have to. Wow. You made like great work, Shadow Warden. What did I do here? If you guys have thoughts of the names of the 7 war wives of Brach, put them in the comments after this. Because quite honestly, given the way people reacted to in Baldur's Gate 3 to the one girl who was always on fire and some of these other characters, somebody out there's got to have a fetish for fire giant women. So it'll probably be easy somewhere to get somebody to be really like gaga over the war wives of Rock. Sassy with 7 wives. Was he crazy? No, he's not crazy. They're his concubines. They're also his generals. So, obviously they're all out, fighting and doing stuff. And he doesn't have to deal with them all at one time. And they don't have to deal with him because they're out, living their best life, killing things. Wow. Later good and the lesser kind. Oh, man. Suggest won't be named after a specific flower. She's got a whole race of creatures in this world. Because this is the internet. I figure better that I just at least, broach the subject lightly rather than people getting surprised by it later. Come on, after the things I've heard about in that video earlier, I mean, you're adorable right now. He's laying on my lap, kind of curled up, but he's got his one paw, his left paw is up on the desk, holding on to my that little mouse pad that I have for everything, and his face is just resting out, sleeping. So he's curled up, but he's using his own hand to hold himself into a position. He looks adorable, and I want to move him because my leg is asleep again. I can't. Catherine. Catherine. Easy, it was already out there. You just didn't know about it. Now you do. Baha! Thanks, Brimstone. See, I'm off the hook. I am so off the hook. Pyra Maldrith. let's see. How would I do this? I think. Yeah, I think the chief of his life. It's funny you mentioned this because I was looking up the Greek. I guess she's technically a demigod. Is she a demigod of Pyra? She was the daughter of Pandora, I think. Yeah. I so bad want to make a pun of something with Cinder and Cinderella, but I'm like, I can't really make anything. It's not just Cinderella. I can't do it. Getting cold out again. When you hear a noise like that, if you guys heard that thump, that is when it starts to get really cold outside. My deck that is bolted onto the house, it expands and contracts, so it's so the whole deck will go in the winter. So it'll just do that on cold days, like a lot. Magma Blade. Cat Xanthemum? Oh no! Meow everyone. Cat Xanthemum, I love your profile pic. Where'd you get it? I may have stolen it. By may, I mean I saved it. Yeah, Pharaoh's daughter, Epimetheus. That's right. It wasn't Porbius. Because I think they were the ones who landed on Mount Parnassus after they flooded the world. Bam. Oh, Calvino, yes, you could put your. Okay, don't. That really hurt. I got a little scratch there from a certain cat putting his, claws right in my arm. All right, let's see. All right, we're going to add some of these names that I'm working on in here. Why Why is that not spacing? Oh, I don't know. It's not spacing it out right for me. Dang it. Oh, I should check the time here. How am I doing? Oh, I've got 8 minutes left. I'm good. Let's see. Frost, do you have any location like a pirate wreck cove where a bunch of ships crash and pirates turn into a shantytown type of deal for smuggling stuff into the country? So there is a place. There are 2 places that are sort of like that, but neither one of them is 100% like that. Thunder Bay is sort of like that. But also, Concordia and some of the stuff out here, they have some areas like that. Like there is one of the places, I think this is the place that has a ship that is turned into a bar. Or not a bar, but it's turned into part of their fortress. Or did I turn it into a bar? I don't remember now. I'd have to go look where the guns are facing out. Because I think we determined, well, actually, maybe there aren't cannons in here. Maybe it doesn't have guns. I don't remember. I asked Erudia, and I got to remind myself if there are cannons on ships or if it's all ballistas and stuff at this point. I will have to go find out. I am not left-handed. Let me finish writing this one thing that I was doing here, and then I'll go check, actually. All right. I have to name one of the ladies Ignatia. I mean, I can't, right? I can't not. Because it literally means fiery or fiery one. I was just having one of those. But anyway, let's look here. Thunder Bay. Small atoll with shields avert an isle from the worst after effects of Selasi's ire. Hidden deepwater port, partially concealed in a sheltered cave where the Brotherhood of Pirates has made their base. Jude Hastings, the Lord of the Pirates, their judge. Why does your paw look so dirty? You have one spot that looks like your paw's all dirty. Did you fall asleep on something? I just touched it. Gross. Okay, that is that place. I'd have to look a little farther in there to see. All right, there we go. We're back. We're back to Ignatia. I don't think they've discovered saltpeter in high fantasy at this point. Yeah, it depends if they have some kind of a magical way to do it, but I could have sworn I thought Erudia answered that question for me before. I'll have to make a note to myself to remind myself to ask him of that question. I'm just going to remind myself that I have to ask him. Again, fire push. Again, yeah. Nah, nice. He has zoomies, just flung my phone off his charger on the floor. Oh boy. Calvino, can I move you? Can I move you now that my leg has lost all feeling whatsoever? Yeah, can I? You can snuggle up. That's fine. Snuggle in. Snuggle in, bud. I just gotta move and get some blood in my legs real quick. I'll give you some love. Don't worry. I gave him a little bit of a squish, but it was not the squish he wanted, and so he started kicking. Not the squish you wanted, right? All right. Some cats, right? He's trying to call her rude eye. He's just gonna get out there. Hey, guess what? This wolf. Say my name. And he just trolls him by asking him to say his name over and over. He's like, no, try it again. Getting to the end of my hot sauce here. There we go. Hot sauce galore. He's laying here now with his paws crossed all regally, like, the prince. Dork. All right, so before I get myself in a rabbit hole and start writing a whole bunch more and getting completely lost in writing and going well over my time, I'm going to close some of my etymology and thesaurus windows and picture search windows and stuff here. Wow, I opened a lot of tabs this time. I opened like 17 tabs. Okay. According to the vet, his name is not Wolf. I kept the name the breeder gave him on his official paperwork. Well, I mean, yeah, you could go with that name because you said what it was, but I mean, the vet, come on, they should go with whatever you want, right? Right? When Calvino was a kitten and I took him into the vet, the lady there wanted to call him Snuggles all the time because he got used to her, and he didn't like a lot of the other vet technicians and stuff, but he liked her. And so when she would come in, he'd be like, okay. And he would snuggle with her. And she's like, oh, he's so snuggly. I'm going to call him Mr. Snuggles. I'm like, oh, don't start calling him Mr. Snuggles. His name's Calvino. He's like, Mr. Snuggles. I'm like, damn it. So we had to kill her. Wait, that's not right. That's not, no. When the guy sold the vet practice, I think he, half of the vet techs left too. So he's not there anymore. I did not kill her. It is not my fault. If Calvino did, he wouldn't tell me. Would you, buddy? And he would never have hurt her. He liked her too much. Mr. Bud, you got a little bit of something on your face there. Get that out. You should clean your face. All right. Oh my gosh. I think partly the weather is changing, but also partly I have my legs sitting there for so long because I'll just sit with my leg brought up and my ankle sitting on my other knee and just lay there. But my right ankle is the one with the metal plate that goes like this far up and down from the ankle all the way up to the middle of the bone, the tibia or whatever it's fibula, whatever the larger bone is. And it has all these screws in it, and there's no muscle or anything around. It's just, you can feel them under the flesh. When I lay that on my other leg, pushes on those, and when blood starts flowing again, I can feel like the pain up and down my leg where all the screws are. But it's especially noticeable when it starts getting cold. I'm like, oh, like somebody's playing Carol of the Bells with little hammers on the side of my ding, 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 hitting the side of my foot. Not fun. Oh, yeah. It is. Oh, it's updating. Okay, finish updating. Okay, I don't know. The weather program is having a severe time updating. It must be too cold. It said it was 5 below, but now it's trying to update. So I can't think it's gotten any warmer. Well, whatever. All right, so it's time to go. So it's 5 below here, as far as I know. So I'm going to get out of here. I will talk to you all later. Have a great evening, and I will see you back for more of this on Tuesday. But I will also see you tomorrow night for Strange Eons. So have a good night. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Bye.